All right, so we're going to do a little bit of hopefully kind of real-time programming and setup with the CircuitPython on this Raspberry Pi Pico. So here I have the Pico plugged into the breadboard. You can see here that we've got 2 pins on either side of the Pico, and that's going to allow us to plug in our different wires that we have right here. And then we'll use the other part of the breadboard to plug in the different electronics that we're going to use. All right, so the main idea that we're going to do is just make an external LED blink. This is the kind of the general idea of what we're going for. So looking at our pinout diagram, the wires or the pinouts that we're going to use are, or this, I guess, this way, because that's what the fritzing is going to show. So we're going to use a ground pin and so this ground pin down here, and then the GP26 pin is what we're going to have coming out of the, it looks like wire 10 on the breadboard. All right. So to do this, it's relatively easy. What we're going to do is just follow the schematic. So we're going to come out of pin 10 and just go to somewhere else on the breadboard. Use 30 there if we want. And then we have a 220 ohm resistor. The resistors are color-coded in a way that define what the resistor number is. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to those quite yet. But for now, we'll just plug it into, as you can see here, we're going to have one lead be connected to the same column as our red wire coming in, like the schematic shows. And then the other lead we're going to have going into the positive side of the LED. So here we have a little red LED. It has 2 wires on it. One is longer than the other one. The longer one is the positive side. And so we want the wire kind of coming from the red line here to go into the positive side first. If you flip that LED around, it won't work. And then we're going to plug into that same column that the smaller wire was on. This is what we're going to plug the black wire in. You can use whatever colors you want. I tend to use red for power, black for ground. There are lots of other colors that you can use: green, blue, yellow, all those kinds of things for your different data inputs if you want to. And then this needs to go into the ground, which is 3 back from the end. So that's really all it takes to wire this up. If we want to plug in our USB cable, you should get a situation where that'll blink a little bit, and then the code that I have on here, we're going to modify this. So let's open up Visual Studio Code. Again, if you need to, go to File and then Open Folder, and then open the CircuitPy drive or drive letter. This is some other code I was testing with. All right, so now we want to set up a connection to our LED. Oh, I should just copy this from so sometimes when you copy and paste the code from Canvas, You might get additional formatting that you don't want. You can either manually, like hit the delete key and delete these things. Another option is to go into selection, go to column selection mode, and then when you click and drag, it's going to select a block of code. In this case, these weird characters that we don't care about. And then we can turn that back off again, highlight multiple lines, and then press tab. So what this code is going to do is it's going to continue to use the internal LED. Internal LED. It's going to then set up a connection to the GP26 port, or a pin. And that is this one in the way up here in the middle, which is where we have our red line. So our red line is going to be our output. When we set that to true or set that value to true, it's going to send a signal out of that pin, go through the resistor into the positive side of the LED, and then back out to ground. And so that's going to be our completed circuit. And so then we're going to set our test LED to true just to see that our code is running. And then we'll set our external LED to true, sleep for a second, and then turn off both LEDs. So we'll save this, and that should execute. And now we have our LED. It almost looks white on the recording, but that is red. And it's flashing at the same time as the onboard LED. So that's really all it takes to wire this up, is really paying attention to the pin layout, and then just remembering that the voltage needs to go in through the positive side of the LED. Again, if I pull out the LED and flip it around and put it in backwards, we'll see that that doesn't work. The electricity has to go through the correct direction on the LED, and that's long wire to then short wire, and that'll all work. So give that a try, see if you can get an external LED to flash.